Welcome to Insights with David Munson. I'm pleased today to have my guest, the Executive Director of the Dallas Champions Academy, Darell Smith, who we're going to be talking with about this fantastic program that helps disadvantaged children in South Dallas overcome some of their adversity through a positive mentoring camp. Darell, how are you doing this morning?
Well, first of all, good morning, David, and once again, thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm doing fabulous. I have no complaints. I'm above ground. It's a good day.
Good. So tell us a little bit about what the Dallas Champions Academy does and how it's different than maybe how other people might approach the issue of empowering young disadvantaged children.
Well, the Dallas Champions Academy is a phenomenal camp. I can guarantee you that you will not find another camp like this in the country. David, pretty much what we do is we bring in 17 former and current NFL and collegiate coaches who would spend 4 days focusing on 4 life skills: trust, discipline, hard work, and respect with inner city kids. But it's not just a character building camp. There's also a spiritual component where we bring in various ministers from the communities to share Christian principles with the kids. And what I like to even go on further and say, it's not just a spiritual camp. It also has an academic component where we bring in one of the top educators in the country who will do academic mentoring with the youth. And then, of course, there's the year-round mentoring. So the camp has several different components with it that really makes it one of the most successful camps in the country.
That's fantastic, and it's really a privilege to be involved. I guess I've been so moved by this that I've become the treasurer and a major donor to the organization, and I really believe in it, and I hope that everybody watching the show will go to our website and see the fantastic video that's on it and be inspired to support the organization like I do. And we certainly appreciate we have online giving and are just really eager to see the program grow. My ambition as treasurer is to see it grow beyond just the camp into other year-round mentoring programs, expand those, and hopefully be able to offer scholarships if we have enough economic support from the community to do so. So we're just going to have to keep working on this, and it's very exciting. When's the camp coming up?
Our camp is actually going to be July 10th through the 13th. We're going to be hosting our camp this year at A+ Charter School in Southeast Pleasant Grove. And David, you mentioned scholarships. One of the things that the Dallas Champions Academy has been able to do over the last 3 years is actually work with other organizations, specifically an organization called the Day of Champions in Oklahoma, where we've been able to take, over the last couple of years, I believe it's been 25 kids to a scouting football combine in Oklahoma, and we've been able to receive 15 scholarships for these 25 kids. And every single kid that received a scholarship, each of them are the first in their family to go to college.
That's a phenomenal success, and I've had an opportunity to hear some of those young men give their testimony, and it really is a powerfully affirming thing to hear people breaking out of the cycle of poverty and having an opportunity for financial success and personal success. One of the young men that spoke recently at a fundraiser that I held at my home gave a powerful testimony about how not only the camp, but the mentoring and the taking him to the combine got him a college scholarship where he could pursue a career as being a physical therapist, which is an incredible accomplishment for a young man coming out of the most disadvantaged area in the city. So yes, a phenomenal program, and it's an honor for me to be involved with it, and I hope that you'll be moved to be involved with it as well. Review it on our website that we showed at the first of the show, DallasChampionsAcademy.com. So this program really keeps you pretty busy year-round, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's not just a 4-day camp. As I mentioned earlier, there's the year-round mentoring. There's the combine. There's a lot of different components involved in the camp that kind of keeps me going year-round. As a matter of fact, the gentleman that you spoke about earlier, receiving the scholarship, he's been part of our camp for 2 years. And just a little background story about him: raised by a single mom, his His dad is currently incarcerated, as many of the young men and women who attend our camp are. Again, a single mom, really not having any kind of future or hope. And however, we met him through one of our contacts at Inspired Vision at his local school, reached out to him and grabbed hold of him and just started working with him, walking him through this process called life, mentoring with him, spending time with him, texting, phone calls, going out with this young man. And now look at him today. 2 years later, when he didn't have hope, today he has hope and he's off on his way to college.
And I will say that I was so impressed with how poised he was. He's been inspired to reach out and really achieve. And he gave an incredibly powerful testimony at our fundraiser and really moved people, got a standing ovation. And it was really special. And it's always very inspiring for me to see positive results from philanthropy. I believe that charitable giving is a sacramental thing that we should give joyously to love our neighbor as ourselves and to the most extent we can. The Bible talks about giving 10% of our income to charity. I think that's a baseline, and that as financial success comes to us in our lives, that we need to expand our giving to a larger percentage to spread the word and love of God out throughout the world. And you spend time actually outreaching and networking with young men in the community above and beyond just the activities of the camp, right?
Yes, I'm constantly in the community networking and meeting people, trying to find out how, through the Greater Dallas Coalition, how we can meet a felt need. In particular, I was out last year, I think it was around October or so, ran into a young man, and as soon as I saw him, I looked at this young man and I knew he was built to play football. The unfortunate situation that he was in, though, was kind of hindering him. At that particular time, he was in a homeless shelter. I just encouraged him, challenged him to just kind of hang in there, and that when March comes around and it's time for our college football combine, I was definitely going to make it possible that he could participate in the combine. So he hung around. I stayed in contact with him, continued to work with this young man. And this past March, he attended the college football combine with us in Oklahoma. And lo and behold, this young man received over 7 different scholarship offers to go to college. So again, being in the community is instrumental in being able to connect with the community and to be able to identify those who need that extra helping hand, so to speak.
And that's really one of the things. The parent organization for the Dallas Champions Academy is an organization called Greater Dallas Coalition, which you mentioned, which serves several functions, including sponsoring and running this camp. Yes. But we also have a monthly networking meeting where nonprofits that serve South Dallas and churches can get together and share what they're doing and how they can do things better. And that's been a really powerful event. The Greater Dallas Coalition is .com, is
.org.
.org, excuse me, .org. And we've got one .com, one .org.
One .com, one .org, yes, sir.
So that's something else that takes some of your time that you work on coordinating those monthly meetings. Yes.
Again, the Greater Dallas Coalition, I would like to say, is probably one of Dallas's most most kept secrets. It's an organization that's been around for about 7 or 8 years, and pretty much what we do is we offer support services, networking, resource opportunities to a lot of the smaller ministries in the DFW area. Our main focus, of course, is South Dallas, because that's where we have such a high rate of poverty, lack of high school graduation, et cetera. Kind of a lot of the social ills are taking place, but we actually service throughout the DFW area. And again, it's just a collaborative effort to connect with local churches and local ministries and help these ministries or assist these ministries and meeting felt needs. Again, there's a lot of poverty, there's a lot of crime, there's a lot of drugs in these communities. So the coalition partners, again, sharing our resources and our personnel to be able to go in and equip these ministries to more effectively do the work of the ministry.
Well, that's true, and we send out emails when there's in-kind donation and surplus goods that can be distributed to other agencies that need them. And I'm always kind of inspired to see the networking going on with donations of goods and equipment and other things that help help our nonprofit partners succeed in doing the Lord's work in
Yes.
this poor community.
Yes. Again, procurement and distribution is probably one of our strongest points. I work real closely with a lot of personal vendors who, when items are outdated or they need to clear their shelves, just kind of give you an example. I was contacted about 6 months ago from a distributor of, I forget the name of the pillow, but these memory foam pillows. And they had over 28 pallets, and there was 52 pillows per pallet. And we were able to receive those and distribute those pillows to our ministry partners, who in turn would use those pillows as a tool in sharing the gospel with their communities.
That's a powerful testimony, and really a great organization that I'm honored to be part of and work with. And I would encourage people to go to the website, GreaterDallasCoalition.org, and find out about it, sign up to be on our email list. And of course, we have online giving and would love to receive a donation from you to help further our ministry. When I think about the poverty that we have and the disorganized efforts, one thing that's really great about the Greater Dallas Coalition and the Dallas Champions Academy is the enormous amount of volunteer energy that goes into these organizations to keep things going and to do the Lord's work in the community. And we'd love to have anybody who's really interested in seeing South Dallas improve come to one of our Greater Dallas Coalition meetings. And if you'd like to come to a fundraiser, please email us and we'll put you on our email invitation list to come to a fundraiser in North Dallas to learn more about the great ministry that the Dallas Champions Academy is doing for the young in South Dallas. So, Darell, how did you get involved with the Greater Dallas Coalition?
Well, it's the Greater Dallas Coalition is really a grassroots movement. Our story kind of goes this way. I myself, along with a gentleman by the name of Ron Woodcock, who is our executive director, along with about 6 or 7 other ministers, we thought that our schedules were so hectic that we actually needed a break. And so we decided that we would meet every Wednesday, the 7 of us, at a restaurant, and that we would just talk and have fellowship. There would be no discussion about ministry. However, when you get 7 ministers together, the conversation is always going to be, how can we do something for the people? And as these conversations and this dialogue progressed, so did the size of our group, where we actually outgrew the restaurant that we were meeting in. And then a local pastor gave us one of his office spaces in his church. We outgrew that. He eventually gave us 2 more office spaces. We outgrew those. And he eventually gave us his old sanctuary. Well, after a year and a half of meeting there, we outgrew that. And now we're actually meeting every 3rd Wednesday at the Cornerstone Baptist Church Community Dining Hall. And you'll find that at 2711 South Irvay in Dallas, Texas.
And it's a wonderful facility, and Cornerstone has been so generous to host us. And so this has grown from just a handful of people to 40 to 50 in attendance coming to hear good news. We have a lecture typically by 1 or 2 people who have quality programs that they're sharing their insights. Recently, there's been the Revive Texas, which is phenomenal. I hope people have had an opportunity to outreach that. The wonderful multicolored bracelets that they offer with Bible readings marked in the Bible, a phenomenal outreach. And do you know their website?
I'm pretty sure it's revivetexas.org, but you can just Google Revive Texas and you'll be able to pull up their website. And again, Dave, the Greater Dallas Coalition and the various partnerships that we have with other ministries have been very instrumental in getting the gospel out. David was talking about Revive Texas, and that's 50 days of evangelism from Resurrection Sunday to Pentecost Sunday, which just ended a couple of days ago. And during this time, David, Revive Texas and over 120 different volunteers and about 80 or 90 different churches who were involved in this process saw over 2,000 lives 2,000 individuals professed Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior for their very first time. Countless others were baptized, and we're even still looking to connect with local churches because there were many of these individuals who made the profession of faith who are looking for follow-up and discipleship. So the movement, it wasn't just those 50 days, the movement is still continuing today.
Yeah, no, that was a powerful testimony that they came and spoke at our last coalition meeting, and they spoke at an earlier meeting. And if you have an organization that is serving the poor, especially with a focus on South Dallas, please do contact the Greater Dallas Coalition about joining our coalition and even coming and making a presentation to the group. And we can't guarantee that people will step up and fund or partner with you, but it's certainly a great networking opportunity, and we're hoping to build the attendance of donors to the coalition meetings where they can see firsthand these small mom and pop charities doing the Lord's work in the community.
Yes. Again, the Greater Dallas Coalition is just a phenomenal tool here in our city. And David mentioned that we have approximately 30 to 40 members at our monthly meetings. Again, that's on the third Wednesday of every month at 10 o'clock at the Cornerstone Baptist Church Community Kitchen. But we also have an additional 80 or so who are part of our membership. And what does it take to be a member of the Greater Dallas Coalition? All you have to do is show up. Currently there's no membership fees. You just come and you show up, and believe me, you will not be dissatisfied. It's a wonderful opportunity to network with like-minded individuals such as yourselves and do the work of the ministry.
Do the Lord's work.
That's right.
Loving your neighbor and meeting new neighbors. In terms of so many times I live in North Dallas, and I can be isolated in my little bubble of people that I associate with, and coming to the Greater Dallas Coalition meeting in South Dallas is an opportunity for me to meet new neighbors and network and help them in what they're trying to accomplish. So I would really think you'll find it very satisfying to get involved either just online or actually come in person to a meeting. But, and you know, as I said, I believe giving is sacramental. I certainly encourage people to give to their home church, but giving to qualified, valid charities is also doing the Lord's work and spreading the word. And this is a Christ-based organization with strong prayer and singing and hymns. It's almost a little mini church service.
Yes, it is.
So, and it's really a pleasure to be involved with it. So, well, what do you think, how many kids do you think we have coming to the Dallas Champions Academy this year?
Our goal is to get 200 kids registered. And again, that's boys and girls, ages 8 to 18. We do offer a free breakfast and a free lunch. And depending on if we can get a minimum of 25 youth from a single location, where even we'll provide bus transportation. So again, we're looking for 200 kids. It's just a phenomenal camp. I've been working with the Dallas Champions Academy now. I believe this is about my 6th year. This is actually my 3rd year as the director. And every year we see transformation. And it doesn't take just the first day to see this transformation. We're seeing, or 2 or 3 days to see this transformation. We're seeing transformation on the first day. Great coaches who have years of NFL and collegiate experience and life skills. They come in and they really hammer in and emphasize those 4 principles: trust, discipline, hard work, and respect. And they go over the course of those 4 days, a 21-point curriculum that instructs kids on how to find help, when they need help, and where to go to get help. It's phenomenal. The tools and the empowerment that these children receive as a result of this camp is incredible.
It really is, and you've got an oversupply of kids wanting to join the camp already because of the quality of the program. So we're not soliciting people to join us at the camp because we are currently overbooked.
Yes. We're looking for 200. We were looking for 200. We actually have 325 kids as of today registered.
Yeah, so we've got a problem.
Yeah, we have a problem.
So one of my goals and one of my hopes that you can help us with is we need more donations. We'd like to expand this camp next year to a 2-week camp to help meet this incredible demand for a quality, life-changing camp experience that we see in the community, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, you know, there's one story that I like to share, and it's about a young lady who attended our camp a couple of years ago. And David, you've heard this story. She came to our camp, and again, it's a 4-day camp, and the 4th day is by invitation only, as the coaches observe the students or the campers exhibiting the 4 principles: trust, hard work, discipline, and respect. Well, on day 2, this young lady showed up at the camp at 7:30. She was a small little car, a 4-seater car with her mom and I think 4 or 5 siblings. She gets out of the car and she comes over to the registration table. Mind you, it's 7:30 and the camp doesn't open till 9 o'clock, but she's there. And so I asked her, I says, "Excuse me, young lady, why are you at the camp so early?" And her response was this: "Because I want to make it to the 4th day." And again, she had her arm in a sling because she had been injured on the 1st day, but here she is on the 2nd day, 2 hours earlier nearly, ready to make this thing happen. Well, she eventually made the 4th day, and we brought her back, David, the following year as an alumni to share with some of the kids. And we didn't know it at the time, but as she began to share, she began to tell us and tell the children that she was speaking to that she had suffered from depression, that she had been bullied and had thought on multiple occasions of committing suicide. However, at the camp, she found hope, she found friendship, she found trust. Now, when we look at the camp, there's so many different components to the camp. We don't know which component was instrumental in her finding hope, but you know what? She found hope. And today she's living a very good life. She's, we're still in contact with her, still working with her, still mentoring her, and we're proud of her. And this is just one of the things that the camp provides, and that's hope. And you can help us with that.
Yeah, I mean, the powerful testimony is just inspiring, and it's inspired me to really devote substantial time and money to this camp because I believe in it so much, and I'm so honored to get a chance to work with Darell and his incredible outreach and ministry that he engages in on a daily basis, spreading the word of Christ and making a real difference in the community. So that's the great story. And you're not a long-time Dallasite. You've been around a lot of places, but you've really found a home here.
Yes, Dallas is my promised land. I'm originally from Los Angeles, moved to Dallas here in 2009. Can I be honest?
Yeah.
When I first moved to Dallas, I did not like Dallas. I found it to have bad public transportation. It was too hot, too cold, and too big. I eventually moved to Atlanta to work with the ministry in Atlanta. But there was a good friend that I met here in Dallas, and after 90 days or so, 3 months in Atlanta, he called me and says, "Hey, would you be willing to come back to Dallas and work as my assistant?" And I did. And since I've been back, I came back April 10th, 2010, and I have such a love for Dallas. I have a love for the culture. I have a love for the people. I have a love for the churches here in Dallas, that this is home. As a matter of fact, when I go to my original home, Los Angeles, I go as a tourist. I go see my family, and then I go as a tourist. But you know what? Dallas is home. I was married here, raising my children here. Dallas has been the promised land to me.
Well, that's great. And it's great that you're really making a difference and going to keep on making a difference. We want to keep Darell working full-time, and we're lucky to have him as part of the organization as its full-time director. And he's coordinating things very well. And so do you have anything else you'd like to share with our audience about?
Nothing more than I've already said in the beginning, and that's that the Dallas Champions Academy, there is nothing like this. You can Google camps, and you will not find any other camp offering the several different components, whether it's the year-round mentoring, the 17-16 NFL and collegiate coaches, the academics, the combine and the scholarships, and just the relationship and the hope that we're giving these kids, and of course the Christian formation, getting the gospel to these kids. We believe that if we can save a generation, we can save a nation. And so again, I just want to encourage you guys, go to our website, thedallaschampions.com. Look us over. If you have any questions, I believe the information was on the screen. Feel free to give us a call or write us. And most of all, check us out. Look us over. And if God tugs at your heart and you feel that, hey, you know what, you want to contribute to a very worthy cause, then I would encourage you and motivate you to do so.
That's exactly right, and that's what I'm doing. I've did my research, did my looking around, and got involved with the organization and started giving the organization. And as I see the positive results and step up, I'm just stepping up my giving to see the program succeed and do all it can do. I hope that you all have enjoyed hearing this wonderful testimony of success in changing young lives in poverty. So many times, all we hear about on the news is the negativity of riots, crime, and other things. And some of these children that come to this camp could have gone down that path, but choose to change their way. Or like the young man that you reached out to in the homeless shelter, had already made some really bad life choices and ended up as a young adult in a homeless shelter, and now is on his way to college. But in the meantime, your mentoring encouraged him to go out and get a full-time job. Now he's holding down 2 jobs and has housing, and has really turned his life around due to the positive mentoring of Christian men like yourself, right?
Yes. Our goal is not just to educate, not just to equip and empower, but to build communities, to build relationships with these young men and these young women. It's one thing to point them in a direction to go. It's another thing to walk them through the process. And it's a lifelong process. The process isn't 4 days, it's not a year, it's a lifelong process. And so our goal, again, is to walk through with these men and these women through the ups and the downs, the successes and the failures of life. And so, yes, David, the relationship and being in the community is key. That's what makes the camp work.
Well, that's certainly true. And another exciting program that's come to my attention through the Greater Dallas Coalition is called Open Table, which you can search on Open Table, which is a networking and mentoring concept where a group of people come together and basically adopt a disadvantaged person and don't provide financial support, but provide professional and information counseling. Again, GreaterDallasCoalition.org and DallasChampionsAcademy.com is the name of our website. Love to have you attend it. It's been an honor to spend time with you this morning and have a good visit with Darell and hear a little bit of his story. We're going to have you back again to give more testimony about your incredible life path and how the Lord has moved in your life and is accomplishing things so well. Thank you so much for coming in.
And thank you, David, for all your contribution and your love and your relationships.
Well, it's an honor to help do the Lord's work in the world. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we hope you'll keep track of our program and come hear more insights from DavidMunsonJr.com. My website is www.davidmunsonjr.com. Thank you so much for joining us.